How does this happen? Story time. So I've been hard at work behind the scenes acquiring hardware for future projects, right? Like 2 days ago, I was about 2 hours north of my house picking up an engine for the project that's coming after the send machine, and a buddy of mine texts me and he says, "Hey Cotton, you like old Hondas, get a load of these." So he sends me a picture and asks me if I'm interested. And well, I'm very interested. I think y'all will be too. We got a real treat here. I'm so excited about it. I've been waiting for one of these for a minute. It's nothing super special, but it's special to me. I think y'all are gonna enjoy it too. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Well, come on, let me show you. We've got a his and hers pair of 1971 Honda CBs. We got the 175 and a 350. Bought by a husband and wife off the showroom floor. I mean, his and hers, man. Same year, same color. Just awesome. The story I got is these have been sitting in a barn since about 98. The 175's got 3,500 original miles on it. The 350 has 3,000. What? They're rusty and crusty, but I tell you what, this 350 is complete. It is complete. I even got the toolkit with it, and any of y'all that know old Hondas know that's a, well, that's a feat just by itself. Went around and WD-40'd up some stuff just to see if maybe it won't help getting some of this loose. Look, dude, you can see she's rusty. She's been sitting in a barn for the past 2 decades, damn near 2.5 decades. So I want to give her as much of a chance of coming apart as she can possibly have. The bad news is everything is frozen solid on this bike. I mean, the engine's locked up. The chain is kind of free and the back brakes work, but the clutch is stuck, the gear shift is stuck, throttle's stuck, everything is stuck. So we've got some work to do. Now, the 175. I think this is gonna donate some parts to the 350. The 350 is gonna be the project bike. I wanna get them both running because I'd love to have his and hers bikes again, bring these back to their former glory. I'm not gonna do a whole like 100% restoration, but you know, we're gonna do the YouTube restoration. I like the patina. I think it's cool. It gives character to these bikes. They've seen a lot. Well, actually, 3,500 miles, they really haven't seen that much, but you know, they've been around for a long time. So I want to get them both back on the road. The 175 is going to come later. The main focus is going to be the 350. I've wanted one of these since I was a young lad, and just always loved the way they look. I like the stuff that people do to them. Going all cafe, you know, cafe racer style or scrambler or whatever, you know, whatever people wind up doing to them. I just think they're cool, man. They're great platforms. They're easy to work on. They're about as reliable as a machine can get. And now I've got one. But she's complete, dude. Everything is there. And look at this seat. This seat is in such good shape, man. I mean, it's still like mushy and soft. There's no tears in it. We've got factory buddy pegs, man. This is where the toolkit goes. I've got the toolkit inside the house at the moment, but I do have the factory toolkit. That's crazy. Well, close, all right. It's a lot of, I mean, call it deep surface rust on this guy. She needs some love. Ugh. I think we're gonna start by just seeing if we can't get her to turn over. She's not gonna make any compression or anything like that. I'm not gonna put the plugs in, but I do wanna know if she'll spin. So we're not gonna do a traditional nuts and bolts restoration on this thing, but I'm gonna tear this thing all the way apart and just clean up everything that's there. Not necessarily replace it. We've got some hard needs. We're gonna need spokes, wheels, tires, for sure. Those are done. The spokes are questionable, but if I'm gonna replace wheels and tires, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace spokes as well. Plus, I need to get better at lacing up wheels. So we'll do that together. Y'all can help me. That's it. That's what she needs. Just wheels and tires. Everything else is there. We got the key. One key goes to all 6 locks on both of those bikes combined. But yeah, man, I want to see, can a guy with normal tools get a rust bucket like this and take it apart and just clean it up, make it look halfway decent, and run well? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Well, let's start digging into her a little bit. Let's see what we've got. Come on, come with me. So I wanna see if this engine's gonna turn over really soon, but I think that would be aided by having some throttle. And well, all of my cables are very seized. Like, they don't move one bit. So I want to get the throttle cable off of here, see if I can't get her soaking, and maybe freed up. I mean, the lever moves here. This is front brake, but there's nothing, man. There's nothing. I reckon we're gonna wind up needing new cables on here. Also, I need to get me some like JIS Phillips. Ooh, yeah, I don't want to hurt any of this stuff. One, we've got 2. Oh, it's gonna be these 2. Okay, well, this is gonna be the name of the game right here for a lot of this. I'm so excited about this motorcycle. I just love these things, man. They're so classic. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, vampires time. This might be easier if I just go ahead and pull my brake lever off of there. What's that, 10 millimeter? Oh yeah. There's one crusty bike, dudes. The cool thing about this though, if I can get this thing like running and driving, you can too. Man, I love these things. Hey. All right, come on now. Oh, dude, that's super cool. I didn't even realize this is your brake light switch, and it's just kind of buried in there. That's neat. I'm probably gonna tear up these cable adjustments, but we can get new ones of those for pretty cheap. These are both, I mean, on both sides are just awful. But I've got to get all these cables out of here and free them up because they are frozen solid. I guess I should probably just keep the channel locks out here because Well, I reckon we're gonna wind up needing them quite a bit. What I want to do is see if I can't send this jam nut all the way back to the end of this cable tensioner or cable adjuster, because if I can loosen up this cable enough to, hey, there's some movement. Wow, dude, these look awful, but like when you start moving them, I was telling my pop, I think this bike's got a lot of, like, I would call it deep surface rust. Like, it's awful to look at, but like once you break through it, it hasn't gone actually deep. It's still just on the surface, but my goodness, dude, it has just wrecked some of these, what some of these cables look like, and some of the bolts around this thing. There we go. And boop. What a cool lever. Got its plastic, it's got the little rubber knobby on it still, man. I mean, that's kind of unreal. At least with what I'm used to, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look at this. We started kind of moving everything, and now it just moves by hand. Line up, little buddy. There you go. That's wild. I need to get me a little parts can that's gonna just be for parts that need to soak. I can still feel and hear a detent in the brake light switch. That's wild. Okay, well, all right. Oh, this is crazy, dude. I mean, it really is all incredibly complete. It's just filthy. I reckon that's, what is that, our throttle stop? We might leave that in there. I'll break it loose. We'll kind of keep that in there. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something, fellas. Van pliers, screw extraction pliers. If y'all haven't messed with these things before, save yourself a bunch of headache and just get some of them. They're cheap. Got a washer on there? No washer on there. And no washer on this side either. I'm gonna have to be kind of careful here because old Hondas like this run all their wires through the handlebars. You gotta be kind of just loving when you take them apart. Boy, those grips are just, they're nice and intact, but I mean, they're plastic at this point, you know what I mean? My biggest fear is just damaging this stuff, man. Really don't want to damage anything because of how complete this bike is. The more I can save, the more I've got. That's crazy. Nobody's ever been in here. It's got like old dried up-ish factory Honda grease in there still. That's insane, man. Everything runs through the handlebar. All the wires run through the handlebars right here. Such a cool idea, but I'm really glad they don't do this anymore, to be honest with you. All right, I think what I'm gonna do, spray this WD-40 down in there. I've got this thing cracked open enough to where I can start letting this kind of soak and work its way down the throttle cable, and maybe she'll come back around. We've got to take this off at some point to clean up. I mean, honestly, every nut and bolt Yeah, every nut and bolt on this machine I'm gonna wind up taking off and just, you know, cleaning it, man. It's just been a long time. It needs it. All right, well, yeah, we'll just give her some of that and let her eat for a little bit. Maybe check back in on her tomorrow or the next day. See ya. How about you? See ya. You really should do both sides of your cables, just in case y'all weren't aware. Because that first like 6 inches of cable is what's gonna be really, really rusty. And then beyond that, you're probably okay. But that counts for both ends. All right, well, in the meantime, I guess let's see if we can't get this thing turning over. I just wanted to show you all this real quick. 2939.5, man. That's the original miles on the bike. The trip meter said like 100 and something or whatever, and I went and doop, 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 flipped her back to nothing. But 2,900 original miles on this bike. I reckon, I'm looking here on the tire, it's a Bridgestone tire, and I think that's original. I don't know why it wouldn't be. We're sitting up here on the center stand currently, and dude, when I tell you, like, there's no slop in anything here. I mean, look, it's filthy, dude. It is so rusty. We've got, I mean, look at the rod, dude. Goodness gracious, we got to get some rims. But it is so, I mean, it's solid. The bearings feel nice. We've got brakes that actually work. Back brakes work great. Mush the pedal and just a little bit of doop. Stops the wheel in a heartbeat. But yeah, 2,939 miles. That's crazy. I got the gear shift unstuck. Took a little bit of WD-ing, but seems good. I ran into a weird issue where even when I freed up the gear shift lever, it's like it wouldn't, it's been in neutral, and I reckon it's been in neutral since 98 when this thing was parked in the barn I pulled it out of. But it wouldn't shift out of neutral into first or second. One is down, 2 is up from neutral, but it wouldn't shift into those gears. It was very strange. It would move, but not shift. So just a little kind of, going back and forth with the shifter, and it actually freed up and goes into gear now. That's kind of cool. So what I think I'm gonna do is try and find fifth. I've had Marvel Mystery Oil soaking in these cylinders since yesterday. I pulled the plugs out and put a borescope down the cylinders, and I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect. They're not rusty, but there's a bunch of aluminum oxidation in there. It's white kind of growth on the top of the piston, and you can kind of see it around the cylinder head as well. But it's nothing crazy. It's nothing that's gonna hurt anything if we turn the engine over. The important thing is that the walls look okay. They're not great, but they're not crazy scored or anything like that. And most importantly, they're not rusty. So we should be able to turn this over and not hurt anything. That's what I'm most concerned about. So I'm sure at some point we're gonna pull this engine off anyway and go through and just freshen it up. But let's see if we can get her into fifth. There's second, third, fourth, fifth. Before I do any of that, I want to pull this stator cover off, if I can, just so that I can get some kind of a reference for where my crankshaft actually is. I want to know if I'm moving it. Well, right in the way. Cool. I'll tell you what, man, if you use an impact kind of carefully, you can really get a long way with it. Bet we're gonna dump. I bet we're gonna dump all kinds of O-ring. I bet we're gonna dump all kinds of fun stuff out on the ground here, but it's all right. Not the end of the world. These all look to be, man. Hey, good news. I mean, these guys they're rusty on the outside, but it's got oil in it. They look good on the inside. They look good, a little dark, but no corrosion. You'll love to see it. Let's see if we can get this stator cover off of here. Got my little, I've got my little parts baggies. I like to put all my hardware in here, and then just kind of zoop it up to whatever it is that I'm working on. Hey, there we go. Oh, we got some slippery stuff in there. Tell you what, we'll slow that down just a little bit. Give me one of these guys back. Ooh, that's not the way you want to do it. It's a crazy bike because, I mean, there's so much rust all over everything, but I swear, dude, so far, everything that's come apart has actually looked nice inside, and that is, I mean, that's wild. Also, you ever seen a mallet that small? Oil pan. Now, stator cover, take 2. Oh yeah. Oh man, I mean, that is so clean in there. What do you mean, dude? What do you mean? That is crazy clean. That is crazy clean. Well, we love seeing that. We got a little sludge in the bottom, but nothing crazy. Huh, that's wild. Well, that's good news. I didn't want to see rust there. And, well, sure enough, there's no rust there. So, stick that in there. We'll stick those in, stupid, not there. Now what I can do is I can watch my timing marks here and see if my crank is actually moving at all when I'm moving this back wheel back and forth. I wonder if we can't get a 14 millimeter on that and maybe get her started. Ooh wee! I don't know, boys. She's pretty locked up. She's pretty locked up. Well, we got a bolt out. Cool, don't need that out. Well, it's gonna be tough, fellas. I think we're gonna have to pull the engine out, pull the top end off, and dig in from the top. I just don't want to go and start banging around on stuff too much because, I mean, she's old, you know. Let's give her as much of a chance as possible to come back to life for us. That is wild to me how clean that is in there. The oil that's coming out, I don't know if you can see really on camera or not, but the oil's just kind of an amber color. It's real light. I really don't like using power tools on these things. I'd much rather use hand tools and feel everything. Oh yeah, dude. She'll come out of it, boys. Wow, what? Wait. What? Wait. Are you gonna be a little gem underneath all this grime, dude? Wow. All right, we'll see. Well, dang. What is that? I was kind of hoping she'd come out of it a little easier than that, but she's not far off, but a little too far for me to just keep, I don't know, tweaking on it, and I don't want to run the risk of breaking something inside this thing. It's just not worth it to me. What? Hello. Well, I reckon we got to pull the engine out. That seems like a logical option. These bikes, that's kind of a piece of cake to do. Normally, I mean, everything is rusty on here, so just getting the bolts out that are holding the engine in is probably going to be a challenge just in and of itself, but it shouldn't be too bad. Maybe I'll let her soak another day and see if she doesn't come around like that. I guess while we're together, I could show you some of the good and the bad about this bike. Let's start at the top. Our gauges look really nice. They're dirty like everything else on here, but they're intact. The bezels need a little bit of cleanup and stuff, but the actual face is nice and clean. It's not really cracked or anything. This mirror, don't mind that mirror that came off of my V-Star. Just, you know, seeing what fits. Let's see what else. Headlights there and complete. The ears are nice and straight. It's got all 4 blinkers. We've got the tail light, and it's not like all cracked and beat up. You see these guys really often where, I mean, most of the time they don't have the lens, but the whole mount for the tail light gets tweaked sideways one way or the other because it gets laid down, knocked over, you know, whatever. And blinkers go away because of that as well. So we've got the blinkers. Dude, I mean, we've got stickers. We've got original stickerage. I think that we've got one on the swing arm as well. She's a little more roughly, but she is there. Badges, we've got all of our badges and stuff. I mean, everything is here. It's a complete bike. It is a complete bike. I've got the key in the ignition right now. Ugh. Get. Come on. Functional-ish. I don't know, wiring might be kind of questionable. I'm sure it is. Let's see what else. Oh, the seat. How about the seat? Actually, let me take this key. I mean, look at this seat. It's hard to explain the feel of it, but I mean, it's just nice and mushy. Soft like it should be. Still got the Honda badge on the back, of course. But there's no tears in it or anything. Let's go. Hey, under the seat. Kind of same thing under here. I took the battery out yesterday because for some reason it was still in there. We've still got the strap. We actually have in here the original little battery cover dealie. However, yeah, I reckon it goes like this. Little battery cover is in here, tucked away nice, you know. Just complete, man. Stickers. It's just all here. The seat pan looks really nice underneath. The spring is intact. I mean, look, listen to this. You're not gonna hear this, but listen to this. Just, I mean, lovely. Just need some love, man. Let's see, the bad. Well, the engine's locked up. Solid locked up. Yikes. The tires, the rims, trash, man. They are in awful, awful shape. Obviously the tubes as well, I'm sure. Need new ones, gotta have them. Exhaust is in, well, the headers are in really good shape. The silencers, one of them is an overachiever. The other one quit out a while ago. So, no big deal. We need some exhaust at some point. Although, well, I've got some ideas about this. We might chop the exhaust a little bit shorter and just call it good. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Toolkit. We've got toolkit storage here. Still got its door and all of that stuff. Get my ass out of the sun so you can see it. Still got the door. Still got the toolkit, actually. It's inside. It's got most of its tools. I'm missing the screwdriver out of it, but, you know, no big deal. Everything is here. Kinda wild. Oh, check this out, dude. I found out. Ugh, the petcock works. Boop. Nice. You won't see it on camera. I'm not even gonna try and show you, but the fuel tank's got a layer of, I would call it flash rust in it, but honestly, not bad. We might acid bath it or something just quick. I would like to avoid coating it if at all possible. What else? I mean, the main bad is just obviously the amounts of rust. Just a lot of rust. Oh, well, I guess you saw. She's still got her kickstand and her center stand. They're rough, but they are there. Oh, no way. Hang on a second. I don't know if you'll see this or not. Look it. That's the little rubber, that's the little rubber bump stop for the center stand to go boop. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. All right. Missing the one for, oops. We'll get out of the way. Missing the one for the kickstand. But wasn't used a whole lot. I mean, these things are usually smashed. They're smashed way in. And, well, this one's just not. So that's kind of nice. I'm really excited about this bike, man. I just can't wait to get her back going again. These things are just they're so great. And honestly, like, most folks have experience, some kind of experience with like 60s and 70s Hondas, right? It's just kind of a bike I feel like everybody can relate to a little bit. Anybody that watches the stupid stuff on my channel anyway. We're all about the same kind of thing here. That's crazy. All right, let's go back to the cave. Wrap this thing up. Oh, stay there. Thank you. Dude, I'm so pumped about this motorcycle. I know it's ridiculous. Like, it's nothing expensive. It's not really that rare, you know, but I grew up around my dad restoring like 60s and 70s, CT70s and Z50s and just all the vintage Hondas. I mean, my first play toy as a kid was a junkyard 1986 4Trax 125, you know. I had to get it running every time I wanted to ride it because the car was trash and, you know, I was broke. So there's a soft spot in my heart for old Hondas. And I just can't wait, man. I mean, I couldn't pass up this opportunity to have both of these machines. Now listen, I should say the 175, we're not doing anything with it right now. In fact, it's missing a lot of stuff. There are parts kind of missing off of it. Not a whole lot, but there's little miscellaneous odds and ends that are gone from it. Also, the engine's got a hole in the side of it. Nothing crazy. It's in the clutch housing, but there's a, you know, quarter size hole in it. So we'll weld that up one day and get it fixed and everything. But for now, the 175, what I'm probably gonna do is pull it all the way apart as well, and then just kind of store it. We'll get it inside. My motorcycles live in my living room. They're not gonna stay outside. When you see them on the channel, they will be outside. This is gonna be like a back porch project, dude. I want you guys to do this with me. Go find yourself some old Honda in a barn, and let's stick them on the back porch and build them together, brother. That'd be great. We'll learn some stuff together. The plan with the 175 is to just pull it apart for now. Because these guys are matching gear models, there are a lot of interchangeable parts between the two. And even though the 175 is missing some stuff, the stuff that is there is mostly in better shape than the stuff on the 350. So we might do a little bit of swapping around. So when I say we're gonna rob parts off of one to, you know, fix the other, nothing's gonna be, everything is there on the 350 and not missing. So whatever we pull off the 175 to put on the 350, we'll put the 350s back on the 175, and it'll still be as completed as it is now. Words. Granted, it's gonna be something that's like rustier or, you know, whatever, but it's still gonna be as complete as it is now, and that's what's important. So, man, I can't wait, dude. I'm so excited about just getting this thing running again. This is gonna be a really fun challenge. A really fun challenge. I've seen a couple of these guys on YouTube before. Actually, I've seen a few. People do little restorations and stuff on these things, but dude, honestly, I haven't seen somebody, I mean, I haven't looked real hard, but I haven't seen somebody start out with one as rough as mine. But the flip side to that is I also haven't seen somebody start off with one that is as complete as mine either. So, you know, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I think I would rather have complete, because, I mean, we can always go through and just DIY restore these bits and pieces, you know, and that's something I'm excited about. So, it's important that you know, too, this isn't going to be its own, like, standalone sequential build series. This is going to be a long-term project, because I do want to go through this bike really thoroughly. In steps, I guess. I mean, step one is let's put rims and tires on it, get the engine running again, and ride it around. That'd be awesome. But honestly, long term, it will all come apart, and just, you know, bit by bit, we'll go through and, you know, kind of just restore it here in the cave. Restore it here in the cave. I'm rambling. It's not going to take the place of the fabrication stuff on the channel, because that's fundamentally what my channel is about, is me learning how to fabricate. So it'll run parallel to whatever project we've got going on at the moment. The Yamaha Honda is coming back up soon. I've honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I'm super stuck on the steering. It's tricky. So I've still got to finish steering. But that machine is really close to going out in the backyard and, you know, seeing if she does the go stuff. But it will be nice to have the CB350 to tinker with when I'm waiting on parts for one of the main builds, or, you know, if I hit a wall and I just need to take a step back and kind of rethink whatever it is that I'm right in the middle of on it. I've got that guy that we can do some stuff on too, because there is no fabrication that's going to be involved on that machine, really. I mean, there might be a little bit here and there, but I want to keep that bike original, you know? We're not going to chop into it. We're not going to stick a huge engine in it or anything like it's going to be what it is now, but freshened up a little bit. So I can keep videos rolling out for you guys with that thing. And yeah, just, I don't know, it's all in an effort to kind of boost consistency on the channel, I guess. I don't have, you know, 100% of my time to dedicate to like coming up with what I think would be a cool idea for a build. I have a lot of ideas in my head, but finding the means and the hardware by which I could actualize those ideas is you know, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, potentially. And then sometimes, you know, shit just falls in your lap. So, you know, who knows? I guess that's it. Thanks for being here. Hit that subscribe button down there if you're into this kind of thing, because that's all we do here. And I'll see you next time.